Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another broadcast of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. Today we have the 2-0 Chicago Wildcats visiting the 1-1 Vancouver Legion here in beautiful Canada Field. Folks, the weather's hazy, 44 degrees, winds 5 miles per hour out of the north-northwest. I'm your play-by-play man, James Richards. Alongside of me is Ramos Lynn, and in the stats truck we have Andy Hamilton. Ramos, we have two very talented teams, both having a very good start to the season. How do you think this game's going to go, and what are your keys to the game?
Well, I think that the game is going to be very, very close. My keys to the game is going to be very simple. It has to be the Chicago quarterback, E.T. King, against the Vancouver secondary. Now, they don't have Major Key anymore, Vancouver, who is a Pro Bowler. So now they have a rookie, and let's see how in his first game he can fill in. Now, Chicago threw the ball all over the place against Mexico City, so let's see if they can repeat it.
Chicago going with tails on the coin flip. It is heads, and it looks like Vancouver's going to kick away. Really love the redesigns that the whole league got, but specifically both Chicago and Vancouver. Vancouver highlighting the blue and gold. I really love the look. Shan sticking with the more traditional orange and black. How do you feel about all the rebrands across the league?
I think that all of them are amazing. I really liked all of them. There's not a single one that I didn't like, and I think that Matt Doyle did a tremendous job with all of them.
Indeed. We have Vancouver coming out in the black helmets, blue jerseys, black pants, white socks. We have Chicago coming out in the all-white with orange socks, and the kick is away. Ball taken at about the 15-yard line. That is Ashley Finch booting it down, returned by number 10 for the Chicago Wildcats. That's Corey Carter, and this is where E.T. King and company will take over.
Now, even though I think the key to the game is going to be E.T. King throwing the ball, I think that he does have to start running this football with his running back. They have a very talented running back, so if they can put the safeties closer to the box, it's going to help the passing game.
Three-step drop by E.T. King. He kicks it out to the flats, and that is complete to Jared Willis. Gain of 4 yards. He takes it down to the Chicago 37-yard line.
And that's something that the Wildcats do very often, is that they do the swing pass kind of instead of running the ball to the outside. So when they run the ball, they run more the ball between the tackles, and when they put the ball on his running back's hands, they throw the ball out of the backfield.
Handoff ISO up the middle. He bounces it outside. He's breaking a tackle. He breaks 2 tackles. He gets to the outside. And that is about a 14-yard gain there by Jared Willis, showing the Vancouver Legion that he ate his Wheaties this morning.
Yeah, great field vision right there by Jared Willis. He gets stuck in the line of scrimmage, and then he bounces it to the outside quickly so he can get the first down.
Shotgun, 2-back set. Vancouver in a 4-2 nickel. 3-step drop by E.T. King. Throws it a quick out route, and that is going to be dropped. That was intended for number 89, J.C. Torres. Looks like even if he would have caught it, he was already standing about 2 feet out of bounds. Pretty good coverage here for the Vancouver Legion.
Yeah, good coverage, and I think that E.T. King was delayed on that one. I think that he should have thrown the ball maybe a second earlier.
2nd and 10, ball on the Vancouver 49, 9:51 here to go in the first quarter. I formation, pro look here for the Wildcats. 3-step drop. He quickly throws it outside to Jared Willis, and he's going to be brought down after about a 2-yard gain. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and it's important for Vancouver to have this 3rd and longs. And last week, Mexico City was unable to stop the 3rd and long. Let's see if Vancouver learns something out of that.
5 wide receiver empty shotgun set here for E.T. King. 3-2 look here for the Legion. Under pressure, throws it quickly outside on an out route, and that is complete. That pass was complete to J.C. Torres, and he's going to be just short. That's 4th and inches.
And let's see what they do, because this is a Chicago team that has a very good running back. They could go for it, taking advantage of this first drive and a very good, drive so far.
Yeah, Jared Willis is having a great drive, and it looks like Chicago is going to come out in a single back, heavy tight end look here. 3-3 look, they hike it, 5-step drop, he pump fakes it under pressure, checks it down to number 30. He's going to get enough for the first down, and that was complete to the halfback, Enrico Bovino, and that's good for a first down. Ball down at the Vancouver 37-yard line.
Yeah, that's a great job by E.T. King. He pump fakes, and he waits till the last second, so he waits for his blockers to go and help Bovino, and he gets the first down.
Strong eye pro. 3-3 look for Vancouver. It's a handoff to Jared Willis. He breaks a tackle. He breaks 2 tackles, but he's not going to be able to break the next 2. Brought down on the play after gaining about 8 yards after that risky 4th down conversion.
Yeah, and this is a Chicago team that has not had an elite running back since Deion Hawkins. They tried to have Jay Calvin Kim, didn't work. And now with Jared Willis, they are looking forward to get another Pro Bowl running back.
2 backs in the backfield, 1 wide receiver to the bottom of your screen. It's an ISO play up the middle. Jared Willis has enough for the first down. He's going to pick up about 6 yards. Brought down on the play by number 24, Dante West. That's going to be good for Chicago. First down. 7:27 here to go in the first quarter. Chicago has the ball on the Vancouver 23-yard line. I formation look. It's another ISO play up the middle. Jared Willis has room to run, and he picks up 7 yards. Brought down on the play by number 27 for the Legion, Mark Lopez.
Yeah, and at this pace, we will have like a 10-minute, real-time first quarter with all of this running. They keep moving the chains. The clock is still moving. And the offensive line is really imposing their will against the defensive line of the Legion.
Same formation that Chicago converted their 4th down on. Single back, heavy tight ends, 5-step drop, quickly throws it outside to Jared Willis. He's got enough for the first down. Runs over 1 defender, but tackled on the play by number 36, Gus Schultz. He's a week 2 signing for the Legion.
Yep. Yeah, the rookie Gus Schultz, and he's going to be key in this game. He needs to stop the outside passes, and he needs to stop the deep throws that Chicago loves to do.
We have a strong I formation tight into the bottom of your screen. It's an ISO. He bounces it outside. Jared Willis has a little bit of room, takes it all the way down to the Vancouver 3-yard line. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 2. 6:10 here to go in the first quarter. Chicago knocking on Vancouver's door.
Yeah, and this is where the field shrinks, and I wonder if in 2nd down you put the backup in to save Jared Willis for a 3rd down, a potential 3rd down, or if you just try to push it with Willis. I think if you run to the left, you could get the touchdown here.
I formation. Pro to the top of your screen. It's a handoff up the middle to Willis, and he's going to be brought down, no gain. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 2nd.
Yeah, and Vancouver trying to bend but not break, and it will be a big victory here for the Vancouver defense if they can stop on 3rd down, if they can just limit the Chicago offense to a field goal. Now, let's see if they pass the ball to the left. 3 wide receivers on the left.
3-3 look out of the Legion, 3-step drop. E.T. King throws an out route. It's tipped up. Great pass defense by number 24 for the Vancouver Legion, Dante West. It looked like E.T. King had the man on the out route, but then Dante West, great closing speed. That's going to bring up a 4th and 2.
Yeah, great job by the Vancouver defender right there on getting to the spot on time. And you're right. I mean, I think if E.T. King lobs the ball just a little bit more or throws it deeper in the end zone, maybe they had a chance. But a great play by the Vancouver defense. And, they get a half a stop, so Vancouver is going to be down by 3 points.
Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and good. Jesus Garcia putting 3 on the board here for the visiting team, Chicago Wildcats. Folks, want to do what I do? You can contact Andy Hamilton or Mike Daggs through DM on Discord to find out how you can get involved with streaming live games, calling games, or breaking them down live on the air with the broadcast team. Or help make our production even better by joining our stats team and helping our broadcasters shine brighter. Hashtag make an impact, and thank you for supporting the SFL. Jesus Garcia boots it all the way down to about the 8-yard line. And it's going to be taken all the way to the 28-yard line. Pretty good return there by Chris Braun, coming out of retirement. Last team he played for was the DC Dragons. And this is Tom Pepper's homecoming here, Mr. Canada himself. How's he looked on the season so far to you, Ramos?
I mean, he has looked good. I mean, the entire Vancouver team, you know, they're 1-1, has looked nice. I think that if they rely more, though, in the run game, they could be better.
Quick 3-step drop, passes out, and that is complete over to Killian, gain of 4 yards. Pepper getting on the board 1 for 1. That's a good start there for the Legion.
Yes, and, you know, getting the 2nd and 6, you obviously don't want to go 3 and out here. I mean, Chicago just put 3 points on the board, and the last thing that you would want to do is give the ball back to E.T. King. And now, I mean, they are playing a lot of fullback, you know, sets. Let's see if they run the ball here.
Weak eye set here. 5-step drop for Pepper. Under a little bit of pressure, and he's going to be brought down. That is number 94 on the sack, and that is Chris Sinareski bringing Tom Peppers down, and that's going to be a loss of 8 on the play.
Yeah, and this is just an on Pepper. I mean, you have to get rid of the ball. Even if you throw it out of bounds, even if you, I don't know, throw it to the feet of the running backs, do something, but you cannot take a sack. And, you know, it's a 3rd and 12. This is a very dangerous secondary. Maurice Spurgeon, those guys, they're very dangerous and can make an interception.
Cover 2 look here against the 5 wide. He's under pressure, steps up in the pocket, throws it deep across the middle. It's complete, and that is good all the way to number 80, Kyle Cobb, coming up big, converting on the 3rd and long, and that's going to give the Vancouver Legion first down at about midfield.
And that's inexcusable here for the Chicago defense. I mean, you have to stop the deep part of the field, and you let him go wide open in between your 2 safeties. You know, that's just a complete blown coverage by the secondary.
Yeah, very uncommon here. You don't normally see Chicago sitting in a cover 2. But as you see, that just then on that play, they went cover 2. They had zones, and the linebackers just got in front of the wide receiver and found him wide open in mid-space. Quick pass by Peppers, and that is complete. Good for 7 yards. That was over to Killian, number 12, for the Vancouver Legion. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 3. Ball on the Chicago 37. First quarter, 3:49 here to go.
Mm-hmm.
2nd and 2 from the All-Pro, 36 yards.
Pepper, 3-step drop, throws it across the middle, and that is good for a first down. Killian making a heck of a catch. Under pressure, it takes a big hit, but holds on to it.
Yeah, and that's a great throw right there by Tom Pepper, and a great catch as well in traffic. Getting the first down and getting in field goal range now effectively to tie this game. Obviously, Vancouver wants to do something more out of it, but you know they're still in this kind of like tight sets and throwing the football out of it, and it's working. I mean, Chicago's a nickel defense.
Split back, ISO up the middle, hit hard by Dylan Rowland, the middle linebacker here for the Chicago Wildcats, smacking him down. Ivan Sanchez only able to pick up 1 yard on the play.
Yeah, great play right there by the Chicago defense, and Vancouver knew the kind of mismatch that they could have had because they were on a nickel defense, Chicago was, and Vancouver had players up front, but it didn't work.
Sanchez up the middle, ripping off about 12 yards, and that's going to be good for a 1st and 10. They take it all the way down to the Chicago 19-yard line, knocking on Chicago's door.
Wow, and this is a great play. Look at that block. And you know, you have linemen blocking like 20 yards down the field, and that's what you want when you have an offensive line like this. You know, you want for them to go pick up a block to the safety, go to the 3rd level, and help the running back, and that's what they did.
1st and 10 here, ball on the Chicago 19, single back look, 4 wide receivers against the Chicago 3-3 look. 3-step drop by Peppers, throws a quick out route. It's complete over to number 15, Mickey Martino. 2nd-year man, joined the Legion out of San Francisco. How about San Francisco starting out fast, 2-0 on the season? This is a big turnaround for that franchise.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, that first game that they had against London, You know, they had to hold at the end, and they were able to do it. The rookie Justin Jones got an interception at the end of the game, so and I think that lets a spark for the rest of the season.
Beautiful corner route over to Killian. Did he drop it? No, they're going to give him the touchdown. He reels it in, folks. Beautiful pass on the post and the corner cross routes. Brett Killian hauling that in for a Vancouver touchdown. That puts the home team. Excuse me, Ramos, go ahead.
No, that's okay, and that's a beautiful pass. Not only because of the catch itself, he puts it in between the corner and the safety. That's a throw that it's harder to do than what it looks like. You know, you don't want to throw it too shallow because it can be intercepted by the corner, and you don't want to throw it too deep because it can be picked by the safety. So you have to throw it to the spot, make it, give your receiver a chance, throw it up high, get the catch, and a big touchdown for Vancouver, who answers quickly.
Folks, the Simulation Football League is presented by APM Music and is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com today and search through thousands of tracks to boost the quality of your stream just like us. APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House. Head on over to apmmusic.com. Ashley Finch booting it down to about the 8-yard line, and it is returned out to the 30-yard line by number 10, Corey Carter. Second season here with the Wildcats. He previously played for Alaska, and he's been big the last 2 seasons for the Chicago Special Teams. Took a couple back to the house last season and has been a real solid force for the Wildcats. E.T. King and company starting at the Chicago 31, 1:36 here to go in the first quarter. 2 wide receivers to the top of your screen, 3-step drop. Quick out is complete for a gain of 4 yards. That pass was over to J.C. Torres.
Yeah, and I think that Chicago needs to do what they did on their previous drive. You know, they were able to throw the ball short. They were able to run the ball successfully with Jerry Willis and convert on 3rd down, which is going to be the key on this drive and for the rest of the game. Now, they go on an empty set here, and they love to throw the ball deep, sometimes like corner routes or post routes.
3-step drop, throws it across the middle, and it is almost intercepted. Dangerous throw. Great play on the play by the outside linebacker, Frank Champion, who skied up and knocked down the dangerous throw by E.T. King. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 on the Chicago 36-yard line.
Yeah, and that's what you want to have in today's SFL is just that rangy linebacker who can stop passes in the middle of the field. And Frank Champion is one of those guys, probably the best in the entire league, and doing so with Lynn Shady and others.
3-step drop here by E.T. King. Chucks it across the middle, and it is intercepted, folks. Number 36, Gus Schultz, the rookie, coming up big. The Week 2 acquisition showing that he's nobody to play with. E.T. King threw it very lazily across the middle of the field, and Gus Schultz made him pay. Vancouver ball.
Yeah, and he was never open, and that throw was thrown, as you say, very shallow. He was never open, and Gus Schultz just read the route perfectly. You know, now Vancouver has the ball in opposing territory, and they were able to move the ball at will in the previous drive. So, this could get bad for Chicago if they allow a touchdown here in the first quarter.
Interesting look here, Chicago. Looks like they're double teaming wide receivers, 3 wide receivers at the top. 5-step drop for Pepper, checks it down to the running back. He stiffs arm. He's not going to gain anything. Ivan Sanchez brought down by a host of Wildcats. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
You know, it's very important, again, for Chicago to try to force a punt here. It will be a big victory for them, and it could lit up a spark for the rest of the game. You know, they have to make a stop here so Vancouver doesn't go up by 2 scores.
5-step drop here from Pepper. Under a little pressure, steps up, throws it deep across the middle. Dangerous pass intended for number 81, and that was Slade Hansen, but a host of defenders there for the Wildcats on the play.
Wow, that's a big hit and a great play again by the defense. Now, you know, if you're Vancouver, you want to obviously get the first down, but even more than that, you want to get maybe about 6-7 yards to get in some sort of field goal range to try to put some points on the board.
3rd and 10 34 seconds here to go in the first quarter. Empty shotgun look for Pepper. 3-step drop under a little bit of pressure. Stepping up in the pocket. He's scrambling, steps up again, shakes a defender, and throws it complete to the outside. Brett Killian, that is a first down. Great conversion. And the Vancouver Legion have a 1st and 10 on Chicago's 27-yard line.
Wow, that's a great play by Tom Pepper. Look at that. He fools a defender, steps up in the pocket, and delivers a perfect ball. And you cannot blame the corner on that one. I mean, the corner did his job, you know, and Tom Pepper had about 6 or 7 seconds with his Houdini acts to throw the ball. What a play, which could change the fortune of the game.
Yeah, Centeriski missing out on his 2nd sack. Pepper 5-step drop under pressure. And as we speak, Chicago bringing them down. That's number 98, Paul Spears, making up for Centeriski's missed sack on the previous play. Folks, that's going to do it here for the first quarter. Vancouver, the hometown Legion, leading the visiting Chicago Wildcats 7-3. Our stats truck just tuned in and said that was when Tom Pepper threw it to the tight end. That was his first incompletion of the game. He had been perfect up until that point, and he's looked pretty darn good today.
Yeah, he has. He really has, and you know he needs to be like this to beat a Chicago team, which is 2-0 and it has had 2 very impressive victories.
3-step drop. Peppers throws it across the middle. That is complete to Killian. Picking up about 7 yards there to make this a manageable 3rd and 8. 10:45 here to go in the second quarter. Vancouver has the ball on the Chicago 26, just outside of the red zone. Empty look here, 5 wide receiver set versus a 4-2 nickel for the Wildcats. 3-step drop from Peppers. Under pressure, and he's going to be brought down. Number 96, B.J. Smith, from his defensive end position, getting pressure and bringing down Peppers, and they might be out of field goal range.
Wow, and yeah, that was going to be my next point, is the fact that that play is terrible by Pepper, not only because he took the sack, but he's now out of field goal range. I'm not sure, you know, what was the record, and no, they're going to punt. I was going to say, what, you know, what's the range of the kicker? Maybe it's going to be about 48 to 50 yards, and this seems to be just a little bit, you know, longer than 50 yards, maybe about 51.
Good call here by the coaching staff to see if they can pin the Wildcats inside their own red zone. Pretty good punt. It's going to bounce at the 10-yard line and roll out of bounds at the Chicago 7. Number 17, Jess Johnston, boots it downfield, and he's going to pin the E.T. King and company back. And let's see if Shan Varner and the Wildcats can dig themselves out of this hole.
1st and 10. From the 7 yards.
3 wide receivers, single back look. 1 to the top of your screen. Vancouver in a 4-2 look. 5-step drop. He throws a quick out route. That is complete. And that was good. Over to Corey Carter. Brought down by Dante West on the play. That was good for 6 yards. At 2nd and 4, they get the ball out to their own 13-yard line. 9:47 here to go in the second quarter, folks. You see the sponsored by ads scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Harry's, Matt Doyle, Bit Central, and Fuel, all proud sponsors of the Simulation Football League. 2nd and 4, 1 back in the backfield, 2 wide receivers to the top of your screen. 3-step drop for E.T. King under a little pressure. Throws it complete on an out route. That is good to number 88, Shan Varner.
Yeah, that's a great play also by Frank Champion. He stood patient, you know, not leaving his assignment, but at the same time keeping a close eye on Shan Varner. And by the time he caught the ball, he was right there to make the stop. Now it's a 3rd and 2. I think they're going to run to the left, and the defense shifts to that side. So let's see.
3rd and 2, I formation strong. It's a power O. He bounces it outside. Gets about 9 yards on the carry. Jared Willis converting for the first down. Now Chicago out of their own red zone. They got it down at their 23-yard line. Do you think Chicago will open up their playbook a little bit more here?
I do. I mean, I think that, you know, in this situation, they needed to just get the first down, and they did a great play doing so. But I think that E.T. King, it's not that, long for him to throw a deep pass, maybe in this same play.
Jared Willis, 7 carries, 50 yards on the day so far. E.T. King throws a deep corner route, and it is deflected. Great defense there by Dante West. He and J.C. Torres were on one-on-one coverage, and a lot of times that's a 50-50 coin flip that the DB won on that play.
Yeah, and it's hard to win those 50-50s when you're the defensive player because of the size. And on that play, he did a tremendous job of getting his hands on it and prevent the completion.
Single back heavy look here for the Wildcats. 5-step drop from King under pressure. It looks like a screen route, and that is going to be no good. You saw number 65 for the Wildcats, Derek Dye, out of the tackle position trying to get out there, but Willis just outrunning his blocks, and E.T. King throwing it a little long and led Willis out of bounds. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. 8:25 here to go in the first half.
Yeah, with a 3rd and 10, you have to throw the ball again if you're E.T. King, and I think that they will try to do the same kind of thing, a corner route or a post route.
Nice slant route here across the middle. That is complete to number 10, Corey Carter. Gets almost a first down, but he's going to come up short. It's going to bring up a 4th and 1, and it looks like Chicago's going to send out Malcolm Perrin to boot that one away.
Yeah, I agree with the decision of punting the ball because your defense just made a stop and you're in your own 32-yard line. I mean, you don't want to, fail in a 4th down and give the ball to Vancouver in a scoring position. So I think that punting the ball is the correct decision.
Pretty good punt there by Perrin. Boots it all the way down to the Vancouver 35. Nice haul in there by Chris Braun. Only going to get about a yard or 2 on the return. And that's where Mr. Canada himself and the Vancouver Legion are going to start this drive. 7:42 here to go in the second quarter. Ball on the Vancouver 35-yard line. The hometown Vancouver Legion leading the Chicago Wildcats 7-3. Dual backs in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen against a 3-3 defense here. 3-step drop. There's a quick slant across the middle. That is complete to number 15 for the Legion, Mickey Martino. And you see the stats here for both quarterbacks at the bottom of your screen. So far, Tom Peppers has gotten the better of the matchup here today.
Yeah, and Martino coming in from San Francisco, a new acquisition by the Vancouver Legion, and he strengthens one of the best wide receiving corps in recent memories for Vancouver.
Power outside there. Ivan Sanchez getting enough for the first down, but hit hard and slow to get back up. He takes the ball down to the Vancouver 48-yard line. Folks, we appreciate all the support here. Thank you for tuning in to the SFL on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up for us. Tell your friends, tell your mom's friends, tell everybody's friends about the SFL. 3-step drop here from Pepper. Checks it outside to Sanchez. He's going to pick up several yards on the play, 6 to be exact. Brought down by number 25 for the Wildcats. That's Blake Hamrack. 5th-year man in the league, 4th with the season. He used to play for Carolina. Now he's found probably a permanent home here in Chicago. He's been here for 4 seasons now.
Yeah, and he's the veteran presence alongside Maurice Burgeon on that secondary from Barnes.
Outside pass complete to number 15. Mickey Martino had to make a one-handed grab. One of those stereotypical wild Tom Pepper passes, but Martino showing why the Vancouver Legion picked him up, hauling that in, and he brings up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great catch right there that puts this on a 3rd and very manageable situation. Now you can do anything. You can run the ball, you can throw the ball short, play action. There's a lot of opportunities.
Hand off to the outside to Sanchez. He's going to run over the linebacker there and gets enough for the first down. That's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Legion, and they are moving the ball down to the Chicago 42-yard line. 5:30 here to go in the second quarter. One back in the backfield. It's a trap play up the middle, and it is blown up.
Oh, wow.
Number 52 for the Chicago Wildcats charging in there. That's Robert Boucher Jr. on the play.
Yeah, that's a big time stop right there for a 1 yard loss. And that's what you want to do out of your role players. That's what you want to see out of your role players. Everybody contributing to stopping the run to make this a 2nd and 11.
Don't look now. Captain Canada, 12 for 13, 100 yards, and a touchdown on the day. Looking pretty darn good. 3-step drop, throws it quickly, and that is complete to the outside to number 12, Brett Killian. And that's, look at that, 7 receptions, 7 catches, or 7 throws, 7 catches for Brett Killian.
Yeah, and this is what Vancouver does very well. They throw the ball short, safe throws. But what really helps this Vancouver team is the yards after the catch. They have a very good receiving core that can run the ball after they catch the ball.
Split back look here. 3-step drop for Pepper. He's going to chuck it on a corner route, and that is complete. Over to number 10, Chris Braun, brought down by Jesse Vick, the cornerback for the Chicago Wildcats, but not before he gets a first down. Under a little bit of pressure, takes a hit too.
Yeah, he did take a big hit and a big time throw on a corner route and a big time catch by the should I say veteran? Should I say rookie? I mean, he's coming out of a retirement of several seasons, so either way, great catch and a big first down.
Yeah, he's looking like a well-oiled machine here. Pepper on a 5-step drop, checks it down to Sanchez. He's going to try to run over defender, brought down by 2 Wildcats.
Yeah, great hustle right there by the Chicago defense to stop Sanchez. Sanchez is a big running back, so sometimes you need 2 guys to stop him, and 2 players of Chicago were right there to make the stop.
Yeah, the 6'3", 230-pound running back flies like the wind. Single back, 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. It's going to be a trap play up the middle to Sanchez, and he's going to be brought down by number 40 for the Wildcats, Dylan Rowland, the veteran leader here for the Wildcats defense.
Yeah, Chicago has one of my favorite pair of linebackers in the entire league. They have Rowland and they have Clint Hendershot, which they are very, very tough to run against. The secondary is not too shabby either. Yeah,
11 seasons combined for those 2 linebackers. Inexperienced. Deep pass across the middle, and that is complete to number 10, Chris Braun, on a post route. Chicago defense looking absolutely lost, and Captain Canada making them pay again. That's another touchdown for the hometown Vancouver Legion.
And this is the same type of pattern that they did when they converted that first down at like 3rd and forever. It is that same kind of post route in that zone, and again, the Chicago defense just clueless on that one. A big time hole in the middle of the defense. Vancouver exploits it perfectly, and they score again, and they go up by double digits.
Let's see if Ashley Finch can add on another point here, and that'll put the Legion up by 11. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good, folks. Your hometown Vancouver Legion taking a early first half lead, 14-3 over the visiting Chicago Wildcats. Folks, SpyGoat is the official audio partner of the SFL. With SpyGoat Pro Audio, it's not just about making you louder. Their goal is to make your band, speaker, fundraiser, auctioneer, DJ, or any other sound source be heard by the entire audience. Go to spygoat.net and make them your choice for sound reinforcement. Finch kicks it away. Pretty good kick, taking about the 14-yard line. Corey Carter shaking a few guys, taking it down to the Chicago 35-yard line. 2:55 here to go in the first half. Let's see if E.T. Carter and company can rally and put some points on the board before halftime.
Yeah, they have plenty of time. 2:52 remaining. They have a big pair of receivers. I'm surprised they're running a lot of power formations. They have 3 very talented wide receivers, Chicago do.
ISO up the middle here. He's going to be brought down for a loss of 1. Jared Willis, he got met at the line of scrimmage, tried to bounce it, and then number 99, Frank Champion for the Legion, haul him down for a 1-yard loss. 2:38 here to go in the first half. Chicago has it on their own 34-yard line.
And again, you know, it's a 2nd and long. They are still not running this type of power formation, and Vancouver is ready for him. Look at how many players are in the box.
Another ISO up the middle there. Jared Willis going to pick up about 4 yards on the carry. You see 54 yards on 9 carries today. But yet that's not enough to give his team the lead. Chicago trailing 3-14.
And if I'm Chicago, I would let this go to the 2-minute warning and not hurry this play out.
And that's exactly what they're going to do, folks. That takes us to the Quip 2-minute warning. You are watching the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Folks, Quip delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy and with time vibration, brush head refills for only $5 and refilled every 3 months. Covered for life with free shipping for life. Try for 30 days and support the SFL with the promo code in the scroll below. E.T. King chucking it deep across the middle, and that is complete. That is over to Buchanan Simmons, and that is good for a first down. 1:50 here to go in the first half. They've got it down to the Vancouver 40-yard line.
Wow, what a catch by Simmons on that one. And again, that's tight coverage. That was well played by the Legion defender, and Buchanan Simmons goes up and gets it. And that's what he did last week against the Aztecs. You know, sometimes he was well covered, and on one-on-one, you know, 50-50 balls, he came down with it.
ISO again to Willis. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 4. Folks, use the Quip link that you see in the chat to purchase and support the SFL live on air, or you can head on over to getquip.com for a more wholesome clean. Another ISO play up the middle for Jared Willis. He's going to get by a few defenders. That's going to take it and bring up a 3rd and 2. They're on the 32-yard line. E.T. King and company going no huddle. 1 minute here to go in the first half. 5-step drop. Throws it across the middle, and great hit by number 27, Mark Lopez, delivering the shot to number 46, Alfonso Freeney, the fullback. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 2. And a big decision here. So far, Chicago's already gone for it once on 4th down. But when in field goal range, they've been fairly conservative.
Yeah, and this is it could be a big play. This is a long field. This is 49 yards. And I'm not sure if the kicker has the range. We'll see.
We'll see. Jesus Garcia. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up. It looks long enough. And it is no good. Just wide right on the play. Jesus Garcia gave it all he had. And it's going to come up short. And this is putting Vancouver Legion here about midfield. And Captain Canada, oh, excuse me, he was just short.
Yeah.
Weird angle there, but I thought he had enough leg. But anyways, it's no good. Captain Canada and company taking over at the 39-yard line. Moving the ball pretty well so far this game.
Yeah, and they have 3 timeouts, 51 seconds left. And they have talent on the outside to throw the ball. So if they can get about 30 yards, they can be in field goal range on their own.
3-step drop for Pepper. Checks it down to Sanchez. He's going to get over. They're going to go no huddle. Gain of 7 yards on the reception. Tick-tock, 40 seconds here to go in the first half. Pepper and Sanchez still need to get set. 35. 3-step drop. He checks it down to Sanchez again, and this time he's going to be brought down in the backfield. Great play there by number 98, Paul Spears. Read that like a book, broke off of his pressure, and rallied to bring down Sanchez in the backfield. Great play there by the Wildcats, and Vancouver's going to take a timeout.
Yeah, now, I like the decision of Vancouver to call the timeout because it's still 3rd and 7, still very doable, and you have 32 seconds left, 2 timeouts left now. So if you get a first down here, you can call another timeout and try to get enough to get in field goal range. Well,
they have been killing Chicago when they come out and cover 2, and it looks like that's the defense Chicago's choosing here against this 5-wide look. 3-step drop from Peppers. Throws a nice deep corner route. That is complete. 1 foot in, and he gets it all the way down to number 15, Mickey Martino, hauling it in, dragging the foot, and taking him down all the way to the Chicago 41-yard line. And Ramos, tell us how Vancouver's having so much success against this cover 2 look here.
Well, I mean, they have very talented corners and everything's very talented receivers, and everything starts from the line of scrimmage. But let's see if it's a catch.
And we're going to get our first challenge of the game, folks. Let's take a look. It's a Harry's close shave, close call challenge. Nice corner route. It looks like he's going to get 1 foot in, folks. From shave sets to handles, Harry's provides quality craftsmanship. Made in Germany, more than 600 engineers, designers, craftsmen, and chemists make Harry's products from the finest materials and ingredients to ensure they perform as well as they possibly can. Use the promo link in the scroll below. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL. Harry's, official razor of the SFL. Head on over to harrys.com. And we saw, even though it looked like Mickey Martino drug a foot in, the official's going to overturn it and say that he did not catch it in bounds, and that's going to force Vancouver to punt it away. Jess Johnson punts it down to about the 20-yard line. And that is number 14 for the Wildcats. Buchanan Simmons gets hit as soon as he catches it, but they're going to give him credit for 2 yards. And that's going to bring E.T. King and company out with 18 seconds here to go. 3 timeouts. They are trailing the Legion by 11 here in the first half.
Yeah, with 18 seconds, 22, the ball at the 22-yard line. Honestly, even though you have 3 timeouts, I will run the ball up the gut and take it to the half.
Offset single back trap here, and he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage. Jared Willis brought down by number 98, Levant Irvine. First-year man coming over from Las Vegas and Sioux Falls. Pretty big acquisition for the Legion. Levant's been a tremendous player here, and that's going to do it for the first half here in Canada Field. The hometown Vancouver Legion leading the Chicago Wildcats by 11. The score is 14-3, folks. We'll see you after halftime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here the second half in beautiful Canada Field. The hometown Vancouver Legion leading the Chicago Wildcats 14-3. And we've got some stats here today as the Wildcats tee up. First half stats for Mr. Canada himself, Tom Peppers. 18 of 20, 152 yards and 2 touchdowns here in the first half. He has looked lights out and has torched this Chicago defense that has run cover 2 more than I think they've ran in the last 3 seasons combined.
Yeah.
Number 10 here, Chris Braun on the return, and he's going to bring the Vancouver Legion out to their own 27-yard line. And this is where Mr. Canada, Captain Canada, the hometown hero, takes over.
Let's see if Vancouver can extend this lead. 14-3. It's still very, very doable. But if they score a touchdown, put the game 21-3 at home, it's going to be very tough for Chicago to overcome.
Weak eye power to the outside. Sanchez going to power his way to the 9-yard, or a gain of 9 yards, excuse me. Brought down by number 26 on the play, Jesse Vick. For the Wildcats, it's going to bring up a 2nd and 1. 10:41 here to go in the third quarter.
Second and 1.
Yeah, and the offensive line of Vancouver has done a very good job of blocking in the second level, Clint Hendershot and Dylan Rowland. You know, most of the tackles we've seen them from the secondary, Vic and Hambrick and those guys.
Single back forward receiver, 3-step drop. Pepper checks it down to the running back. He's going to break a tackle, gain a yard. Nice job by number 28 for the Wildcats, Jeremy Lane, to force that play out of bounds. You see the QB comparison. Pepper looks amazing. E.T. King looks like he's been in witness protection. What do you think's going on here for the Wildcats?
Well, for the Wildcats, I mean, it seems that they have done a few plays that they just looked lost. You know, blowing coverages, the 2 big touchdowns. Well, one of the big touchdowns and another big throw. And wow, look at that.
Not lost on that play. Great play there by number 25 for the Wildcats, Blake Hamrack, hitting him in the backfield, and that's going to bring up a crucial 4th down here for the Legion. I say crucial, but it's more crucial for the Wildcats. They needed this first drive to be a 3-and-out to kind of get the momentum back on their side and start climbing this uphill battle.
Yeah, definitely. They needed to have a 3-and-out so they can get the ball back at good field position. Maybe they will get about a 30-yard line. So
Jess Johnson boots it all the way down to the Chicago 28-yard line. Buchanan Simmons takes that 4.2 hang time punt and gains about a yard on it. That's going to bring E.T. King out of the aforementioned witness protection program, and let's see if he can make a second coming here in the second half.
You know, now you look at look at this formation right now. They have a very, very tight set. Probably going to run the ball again. And I'm surprised they're running the ball this much.
ISO up the middle, out of the I formation heavy, and that's going to be a 9-yard gain there for Jared Willis. And, you know, I joke and I say that they've had E.T. King and witness protection, but, I mean, that seems like that's been the game plan for Chicago. Heavy dose of runs. And we see down at the bottom left of your screen, we're sponsored by Media Tech Institute. Do what you love what you do. MeUndies, the greatest underwear in the world, and Movement, the greatest watches, accessories in the world as well. We see a handoff to the outside, brought down by number 36, the rookie, Gus Schultz, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 3 here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, great play right there by Schultz, the defensive back, getting the stop behind the line of scrimmage. And they go in a very similar formation, so I'm guessing they will go with the ball to the right as well.
ISO up the middle, and it's going to be just short, 4th and 1. And that's going to bring up another crucial 4th down here for this very conservative Wildcat offense. They're 1 for 1 on the day in a similar situation in a similar spot on the field. But it looks like they're going to send out the punter, Malcolm Perrin, and they're going to play the field position battle.
Yeah, and a great play right there by LeVon Irvine. I'm surprised again they ran the ball up the gut after about 3 or 4 runs in a row. It didn't work, so Vancouver will get the ball back.
Pretty good punt after a shaky snap. Perrin boots it down to the Vancouver 25, where Chris Braun hauls it in, and he was brought down immediately before he could get that return started. Folks, we see the games coming up tomorrow. Some good matchups. Denver taking on the 2-0 Denver Nightwings, taking on the 2-0 San Francisco Sharks at 7 p.m. Central. Also that Sioux Falls Baltimore game. Both looking like hell of the ball games. 5-step drop, quick out throw, and that is complete. Over to number 12, Brett Killian.
You know, and Brett Killian has been a veteran receiver for this team for a long time. One of the most reliable receivers in the SFL. Now pairing back with Tom Pepper, you see the connection. You see a lot of Pepper to Killian connections today. He already has 8 touchdowns, so you're looking at that connection already flowing early in the season.
8 catches, 59 yards, and 1 touchdown. Pepper's 3-step drop, throws it quickly out to Sanchez. He's going to be met by a defender, but then he just says, hello, goodbye, trucks him, and picks up the first down. That is a 1st and 10. Heck of a run by Ivan the Terrible, showing why people are scared of him. Sanchez picking up the 1st down and taking the ball to the Vancouver 38.
Yeah, that's a grown man play. You know, one-on-one, you have to get the first down, and you shove the defender to the ground to pick up the first. You know, great play right there by Sanchez.
7-step drop under pressure. Peppers hit as he throws, and that's going to fall for one of his few incompletions on the day. Great pressure by number 28 for the Wildcats. Jeremy Lane coming in from that nickel free safety position. I don't know why I said Ivan the Terrible. I guess it was the first historical figure that came to mind. If you like it, great. If you hate it, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. But I was just trying to comment on the vicious run style of one Ivan Sanchez. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 here for Peppers. One back in the backfield, offset look. And it's going to be a trap play up the middle. Nice little juke move by Sanchez. He's got a ton of room and a ton of blockers, and they're going to take it to the house. And that's going to put Vancouver up 20-3 over the Chicago Wildcats. And that is a commanding lead. Ramos.
Man, he looked like Barry Sanders on that one. You know, like kind of like a step back move. You know, you don't see that very often for a big back like Sanchez, but hopefully we get the gonna get the angle. Look at that. Oh goodness.
He looked like Snoop Dogg there doing the 2-step shuffle. I don't even know what Snoop Dogg calls that, but dang, that sure is pretty. And the Sanchez is what they call him here in Canada, showing why socialized medicine's good for the body, as he takes it to the house for about 1,000,000 yards and puts Vancouver at a commanding lead, 20-3 over the Chicago Wildcats. And that's going to bring out Finch to try to put it up by 21.
Yeah, that's going to be on the top 10 plays. It has to be on the top 10 plays.
Kick is up and is good. That gives Vancouver a commanding lead, 21-3 here halfway through the third quarter, folks. If you want to follow the SFL on Twitter and Facebook at SimulationFL and subscribe to our Twitch and YouTube channel, you're already here, right? Might as well stay tuned. Get league updates on your phone while browsing through the ScoreStream app. Want to be a part of the league? Head on over to simulationfl.net or grab the Discord link from below. And thank you for supporting the SFL. Kick is returned there by Corey Carter, and he's going to take it out to the 30-yard line. E.T. King and company, you know, Ramos, they've been very, very conservative today. Is it time to break away from that game plan? You know, they're down by several scores here halfway through the third quarter. What's your game plan moving forward?
I mean, you know, like I said at the beginning of the game, I think it was going to depend on E.T. King and the receivers against the secondary. So I think he has to start throwing the ball a little bit deeper. I mean, they're running the ball, throwing the ball short. I think they need to get chunk plays.
Outside pass is good. That's good for 8 yards. Complete over to number 16 for the Wildcats. That's Austin Matrullo, the third string wide receiver, or fourth string, excuse me. Going to give the Wildcats 2nd and 2. You know, I don't know if they've got to go deeper. They just got to throw the ball more. They've been coming out heavy all day.
You're right.
Single back look here. 3-step drop, quick screen pass outside to Willis. He had a blocker, but corralled very quickly by the Vancouver linebacking core, but not before Willis picks up the first down.
Yeah, that's the first thing you have to worry about, getting first downs and moving the ball. You know, you still have a lot of time left. You know, it's a 3-possession game, but you still have quarter and a half to go. So, you know, you don't have to panic, but you need to start getting some rhythm.
Weak guy Pro is going to be shut down in the backfield. Number 98, Levant Irvine leading the charge, and that's going to be a loss of 2. Frank Champion on it as well. That's 2nd and 12. 5:36 here to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and you know, it's been the bread and butter for Vancouver. You know, it's like stopping the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and Chicago being on those 2nd and 3rd and longs.
Single back heavy, quick throw out to Willis into the flats. He's going to be corralled quickly. Brought down by number 21 for the Legion, Jimmy Legan. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Wildcats.
3rd and 9, obviously in the shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers. And I think they might throw the ball to the inside like a slant route or something.
I'm going to call an out route. And I'm wrong and you're right, but it doesn't matter because it is deflected.
Wow.
Great play there by number 27, Mark Lopez, coming up from the free safety position. That's going to bring up a 4th and 9 situation, and Chicago is forced to punt it away. Another great stop by the Vancouver Legion.
Yeah, and things starting to get ugly. You know, it's 21 unanswered points for Vancouver right now. You know, Chicago starting winning this game 3-0, and since then it's been 21 unanswered for Vancouver. And they will get the ball back here.
Almost blocked there by the Vancouver Legion. That would have been disastrous. Return by Braun for a few yards, and that's going to start Captain Canada and the Vancouver Legion here on the 23-yard line. 4:41 here to go in the third quarter. Tom Pepper and company, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back in the backfield. 4-2 look here for the Chicago Wildcats. 5-step drop for Pepper, checks it down to Sanchez. He's going to be corralled by Rowland and company, but he's going to pick up a 1-yard gain. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 here for the Legion.
Yeah, and in Chicago, they need to corral Sanchez. You know, now he's starting to heat up. He had a big run for a touchdown last drive. And, you know, now that's what Vancouver will do. They will run the ball a little bit more now that they have an 18-point lead.
Shotgun look, 1 back in the backfield. 3-step drop from Peppers, throws a quick out, and it is complete after a short gain. Mickey Martino dragging the feet, getting inbounds, but going out of bounds before he can make anything happen. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting what Vancouver does here. They could run the ball because they have had a very successful run attack in the third quarter, and they want to keep the clock moving, but they could very well pass, maybe another out route.
Peppers calling an audible, gets the defender to jump off sides. That's going to be our first penalty of the game. It's complete, but we're going to go to the referee, and we've got some MeUndies laundry on the field. We'll send it over to the referee to see what the call is. It's going to be offsides. Folks, MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear. Use the promo link in the scroll below. The portion of your purchase supports the SFL. Give the gift of comfort with 100% satisfaction guaranteed, free shipping and returns. Signature soft and stretchy MeUndies. Folks, head on over to MeUndies.com and get yourself a pair today. 3rd and inches after the Legion accepted the penalty.
I would just run it up the gut with Sanchez. You know, he's like 250 pounds.
They're going to throw it instead. 3-step drop from Pepper, throws it across the middle. Dangerous. Dylan Rowland almost picking it off, and he would have had quite a few yards ahead of him if he were able to bring that in.
Yeah, that's a really bad decision by Pepper. Really the only poor decision he has done all day. That was triple covered and should have never thrown that pass. Now they have to punt.
Yeah, terrible decision by Pepper, but I love the aggression by the coaching staff. They said, hey, we've got a huge lead. There's really no harm if we don't get it. You know, we'll play the field position and punt it away if we don't get it. But if we do get it, then we put the vice grips here on Chicago. Pretty good punt all the way down to the Chicago 31, brought in by Buchanan Simmons. And E.T. King and company going to take over at their own 31-yard line. 3:05 here to go in the third quarter. Folks, if you like the job that myself and Ramos Lynn and Andy Hamilton are doing on today's broadcast, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button here on the YouTube channel. And when Mike Daggs, head of the broadcasting group, posts the link, go ahead and give us 4 stars on Yelp. Handoff up the middle there to Jared Willis, and he's going to pick up 8 yards. Still being pretty conservative here by Chicago. They're down by quite a few points. So it'll be interesting to see if they get out of it.
Yeah, you know, they are down by 18 points. However, if they can run the ball and get 8 yards on first down every time, you should be content with that. Now, they need to do this consistently.
Yeah, another ISO up the middle to Willis. And that has been one of the soft spots in a very stingy Vancouver defense today, has been that ISO play up the gut. That's where Willis has gained a majority of his yards. And it seems like Chicago is very content with just running the ball up the middle over and over again. Split back formation. 3 wide receiver spread look here for the Wildcats against the 4-2 nickel, and it's another ISO up the middle. Willis going to make contact with the line of scrimmage, but he picks up 3 on the carry. That's they've got the ball on their own 49-yard line, midfield here with 1:54 left to go.
The 2nd and 7 here, you know, they have Willis again in the backfield. Now, you have to think that Willis is a little bit tired, and there's no wide receivers here in the formation. This ball is going to go again with Willis.
5-step drop. He checks it down to Willis on a screen play, but bobbles it. Man, he almost got his head taken off as that defender just ran around the offensive lineman that was providing coverage there for Willis. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 7, and that's kind of how Chicago's game's gone all day long.
Yeah, though, I mean, it could have been a blessing in disguise that he dropped the ball, because if he catches it, he's going to be tackled for a 3-yard loss. So probably good that he dropped it. Still a 3rd and 7, and they are forced now to throw the ball deep.
Split back, 5-step drop out of the... He throws it across the middle, and another great play by Levant Irvine. And I tell you, he is playing with fire when he throws these passes across the middle like that.
Yeah, and that's been the key of the game. Both him and Frank Champion have been unbelievable stopping the pass in the middle range of the field. And, you know, this is the bread and butter of Chicago. You know, this is what they do. They throw the ball. They want to throw the ball in the zone of the linebackers. And Vancouver is ready for it.
Just Malcolm Perrin out to punt that ball away. Boots it all the way down to the 11-yard line. Braun reels it in. He gets hit and fumbled. Who's going to fall on top of it? I'm not sure who recovered
Vancouver
that.
did. Yeah, Vancouver did, I think. Man, I don't know. Yeah, Vancouver did.
Man, risky play there to return a punt with Wildcat guys coming down on you, and they make them pay, delivering a big hit. Chris Braun, the veteran, coughing the ball up. Luckily for them, they recover it, but that puts Vancouver in a hole there on their 14-yard line. Single back look, 3-step drop. Peppers throws a slant across the middle. It didn't look like it was intended for number 15, Mickey Martino. It looked like it was intended for someone else. But somebody just got in the way and cut that route short. It looked like Peppers was trying to go to the outside receiver, but another guy cut the route short and tried to make a play on a difficult pass that didn't look like it was intended for them. Anyways, it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 here. Single back, 4 wide receiver look here for the Legion against a 3-4 look here. Throws it quickly outside, and that time it's complete. Martino reeling it in, picking up a couple yards. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
You know, and with a 3rd and 5 here, this is the decision time, and you could do basically anything because you just have such a surmountable lead. Honestly, I would run the ball. I mean, you want to get a 1st down, but you don't want to throw an interception here in this side of the field. You don't want to give Chicago the ball in scoring position. I will run the ball and try that.
That's what they do indeed. The Sanchez picking up about 6 yards on the carry, and that's going to give the Legion a 1st and 10. 43 seconds here to go in the 3rd quarter. This game's been moving fairly quickly. We're an hour and 6 minutes into the game, and we're almost done through the 3rd quarter here.
Yep.
Shotgun, 1-back look, 3 wide receivers set for the Legion. Peppers, 3-step drop, throws a corner route, very dangerous. Almost intercepted there by number 26, Jesse Vick. 2nd-year man for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that should have been intercepted, and it was surprising for a lot of people to see Jesse Vick go 5th overall last season, but he's been worthy of the pick. He's one of the leaders here on this team, and a very good corner. Normally he plays on the right side of the left side of the defense, stopping the number 2 wide receiver.
Strong eye look here for the Legion. 3-step drop. He's hit as he throws, and that's complete to number 12, Brett Killian. And, you know, to that point, Ramos, you were talking about people were surprised to see Jesse Vick go where he went. And I think that's a credit to Shan Varner, one of the veteran owners in the league. He puts more value on good people. You know, if you're a good person,
Right.
you know, he can teach you the skills later on. And I think that's what has happened here with Chicago and Jesse Vick. And Shan Varner's turned him into a quality SFL cornerback.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's going to do it here in the third quarter here at Canada Field. The hometown Legion leading the Wildcats 21-3. And I think your plays of the game that you highlighted to have come true, and Vancouver has been dominant all throughout this game. 3rd and 6 here on their own 28-yard line. 7-step drop for Pepper. Throws it deep across the middle. He's got a man wide open. Mickey Martino. He's going to go all the way. Mickey Martino on a post route. Wide open. Torches the Chicago cover 2. And that is going to put Vancouver, if you don't put I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. If you don't put a fork in this steak, well, you're going to overcook it, because I think it's done here. Man.
Yeah, you know, when Vancouver gets on a roll, they really do get on a roll. And right there, again, the defense completely lost. It's a cover 2, and the safeties are just playing on the outside of the hashes. So it leaves that middle of the field completely wide open. And Tom Pepper puts this on the money for a big-time score. And I agree, you know, this is not over till it's over. Chicago has very, very... you know, a very, very good offense and everything, but, you know, 28-3 with 10 minutes left, you know, it does seem like this is game, set, and match for Vancouver.
Yeah, I agree. It's not over till it's over, but coming out of halftime, you know, Chicago appears to have made 0 adjustments. You know, they're very content running the ball, trying to control the clock for whatever reason. You know, you're down, you got to put, you know, you just got to put your foot on the gas, and it's quite the opposite. You know, Vancouver's the one being the aggressor, even though they have such a commanding lead here late in the game. And it seems like Shan Varner's content with running this cover 2, you know, sticking to his gun, saying, hey, we can make this work. So far, it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it has not, and, you know, it has worked for some other things, you know, to stop the short passes. It's not been that bad. You know, when you look at the touchdowns, it's all been big plays. But, you know, it's just been called in the wrong times, and Vancouver has taken full advantage of it.
Yeah, and we expect a veteran coach like Shan Varner to learn from something like this and get it right going into next week, as we see another ISO play here to Jared Willis. This time goes for 9 yards, almost 10, brought down just short of the first down. But, yeah, you know, this is a veteran team. You know, they had a rebuilding season last year, still made a pretty good push in the season. This year, they jump out to a commanding 2-0 lead in the standings as we shift to a one-conference look in the whole league set. So, you know, yes, they're probably going to lose this game, but they're still in great position on the season. And that's a quick pass out to the outside, good to number 14, Buchanan Simmons, and that's good for a first down. 10-12 here to go in the fourth quarter. Chicago trying to mount a rally here, but it's, you know, down by 25. At some point, they're just going to have to start chucking it and hoping for the best. 3-step drop for E.T. King under a little bit of pressure. Checks it down to Jared Willis. He's going to pick up about 8 yards on the reception. You see the stat comparison. Jared Willis, one of the leading receivers for the Wildcats, 7 catches, 25 yards. Mickey Martino, one of the leading receivers for the Legion, 7 catches, over 100 yards. So different type of passes being done by each team. Vancouver's been able to hit on those big money plays. Chicago's been forced to check it down against this stingy Vancouver defense. 3-step drop, another check down. Looks like a screen play. He's going to tiptoe it. Picks up enough for a first down. That's a real heads-up play there by Willis to bring it in, get skinny, and kind of tiptoe his way up the sidelines. not only does he pick up the first down, but he does stop the clock.
Yeah, and it's been about 2 or 3 plays in a row now for Chicago, which they get the ball and they get out of bounds to stop the clock, which at this point is important. You want to save as much time as you possibly can.
9:30 here to go in the fourth quarter. Empty look here for the Wildcats. He throws a deep, deep pass, and he overshoots the wide receiver intended for Buchanan Simmons, and it looked like he just shot it about 10 yards too far out of a cannon.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the wide receiver got bumped at the end of the route, but that's a very poor throw right there, because that's supposed to be a corner route, and it was thrown to the inside. It was not thrown to the outside, to the sideline. So that was a bizarre-looking play.
Yeah, it looked more like a fade route, but I agree.
Right.
It looked like it's supposed to be a corner. ISO up the middle. And that is number 30 for the Wildcats, Enrico Bovino, picking up 6 yards on the carry. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 4. This is some of the better field position here. Chicago driving. They are in scoring position. It is a little deep for a field goal, but, if they can convert here, then maybe they can put some points on the board. Under pressure, throws a crazy pass across his body. It's complete, but it's going to be complete for no gain over to Jared Willis. Man, what a funky play here by the Chicago quarterback. Rolls out to his right, gets hit, throws it across his body all the way across the field, completes it to Jared Willis, but he's already out of bounds, so it's no gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 4. And it looks like Chicago's sending out the punter, and they're going to try to play defense and pin Vancouver back deep.
Yeah, honestly, I will go for it, because it's like you don't have nothing to lose. I kind of get the idea behind punting the ball, but I would just go for it on 4th and 4.
Well, they do pin it deep. Ron going to return it to about the 14-yard line. Analytics tell you once you get past the 50-yard line, you got a higher chance of converting it. Even if you don't convert it, you're already across the 50-yard line, so you're not in that terrible of a field position. But Chicago doesn't appear to be analytic type guys, and they're just going to be content punting it away and playing defense here.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Vancouver will they will pass.
Yeah, and some people will not like this call. I personally like the aggressiveness. As you see, sponsored by Quip in the bottom left hand of your corner, folks. Richards Printworks and ScoreStream. Go ahead and download the ScoreStream app and stay up to date on all the scores across the league. Spy Goat, the official sound partner of the SFL. Vancouver coming out in a strong eye look against this 4-2 defense for Chicago. It's a power play to the outside. Sanchez gonna get wrapped up, brought down by number 26, Jesse Vick for the Wildcats. 8:18 here to go in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 8, ball on the Vancouver 16-yard line. Ramos, it'll be interesting if they can get Vancouver to punt, which we'll see here. They're in a 5-wide empty shotgun look. Peppers under a little bit of pressure, throws a corner route, and it is complete.
Wow.
Killian's got a little bit of room. He's going to break a tackle. He's going to take it down to the 20, to the 10, 5, touchdown. What a play by Brett Killian on a corner route. A beautiful ball by Tom Pepper, placing it right on the sideline. He catches it, tiptoes, stays in bounds, jets up the field, and outruns the entire Chicago defense to put Vancouver up 34-3 here in the fourth quarter. Ramos, take it away.
Man, it looked like when you're playing like Mario Kart, or you play like Crash Team Racing and you pick up one of those speed boosters, because it seems that it was going to be just like a 20-yard play, but he took it all the distance, and that's an incredible breakaway burst by the wide receiver. This is not a small wide receiver. This is not like a 5'10", 160-pound receiver. This is a big receiver, and he just burned the corner and the safety to the end zone, and now Vancouver 34 and now close to 35-3. They look very dangerous this season. This looks like the Vancouver team we saw to end season 9.
Yeah, they started out rough in season 9, finished as a playoff team, threatening a lot of people, beating some really good teams in the playoffs, making it all the way to the conference finals. And, you know, you got to think this is Andy, you know, saying, hey, Shan, we used to coach together back in Carolina. Let's just go out here and throw haymakers and see who's standing at the end of the game. And to kind of play off your Mario Kart theme, it's like being in first place, coming up on the last place guy, and then shooting him with your little turtle shell and just putting him further behind. And it's not needed. You probably could have saved your turtle shell, but who cares? You know, the race is probably over. 7:45 here to go. Vancouver up by 32 points. You know, at some point, Chicago's just going to have to go out and do something. E.T. King, 7:45 here to go. Still hasn't broken 100 yards passing. Come on.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
And it's another handoff. Jared Willis going to take it outside. 2nd and 10. I commend Shan for being stubborn, you know, stubborn with the run, stubborn with the cover two. You know, maybe he's just saying, you know, hey, let's just get out of here, start prepping for next week. You know, this game's not going to kill our season. We'll be okay. Let's not get anybody hurt. So I get what he's doing here, but as a fan, you know, you want to see him throw the ball. Another handoff up the middle. This time, Jared Willis takes it all the way down to the Chicago 41. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. Willis has had himself quite the day on that carry. He goes over 100 yards on 22 carries, 108 to be exact. I bet they run here, Ramos, on a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to run here.
And indeed, it's another ISO play. This time, Vancouver smelling the same cooking that we're smelling, but saying we don't want that, and they throw their plate off the table. That's going to bring up a 4th and 1. And they're sending out the punting unit. Malcolm Perrin coming out for probably his 39th punt of the game. Not really sure. I haven't really kept track. I'm sure Andy's got that number back in the truck, and I'm sure he'll yell at me for saying 39. But such is life. Perrin punting it away. Pretty good boot down to the 25-yard line. Return there by the special teamer, Chris Braun. And he's going to get it all the way back to the Vancouver 29-yard line. And, you know, I'd like to see Vancouver run the ball, but if, you know, hey, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. And the passing game seems to be working pretty well for them.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's, you know, you want them to run the ball. I mean, they you know, getting the clock down. But if they're passing the ball successfully, why not?
3-step drop, checks it down to the Sanchez, and he's going to pick up 6 yards. You know, and Sanchez has had himself quite a good running day, too. Half the carries is Jared Willis. He's had 12 carries compared to Willis's 23, but he's got 92 yards in comparison to Willis's 108, and he's got a touchdown on the day, and he's been a big factor in the passing game, too. So, 9 catches, 26 yards. So he's been the more productive back by far.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that one touchdown where he, you know, stutter step and then he went the distance was pretty impressive for a big back like him.
Yeah, powering to the outside there, bounces it outside after first contact. Going to pick up a couple yards, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2. 5:36 here to go in the 4th quarter. Vancouver, your hometown heroes, leading the Chicago Wildcats 35-3. Single back look. Peppers calling an audible at the line of scrimmage. 3-step drop. Throws a quick out route. And, man, did that receiver look clueless. Number 83. Bryce Duncan, man. He just stopped. Peppers threw it right at him. And Duncan did not even try to catch it.
Yeah, that was a very bizarre looking play. And, you know, it seems that he was probably... I have to look at the depth chart, but yeah, he's playing on a special team, so he doesn't have to be that good. But yeah, he looked clueless, and I think he just ran the wrong route. I don't know what he did, but either way, Vancouver has the punt. You know, thankfully for them, they're winning by 32 points.
Yeah, Duncan there, the long snapper, getting his first snap of the game at tight end. Well, it'll probably be the last snap at tight end for him today after that play. Pretty good boot down to the Chicago 25-yard line. And maybe we'll see E.T. King come back out, but I think at this point, nothing really to gain here except for stats. And E.T. King still sitting at 93 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. 5:11 here to go in the fourth quarter. Dual backs in the backfield. It's an ISO play up the middle. Jared Willis. Another carry here. Very conservative approach by the Wildcats. It brings up a 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard gain.
And it seems that Chicago has kind of conceded this. I mean, this is a learning experience for them. Especially on defense, they allowed a lot of big plays, but on offense as well, they looked gun shy. I mean, I don't know if E.T. King has something or what happened, but they looked very gun shy, and kind of panicked. I don't know. I really don't know what happened in this ball game, but either way, I mean, they're still a very good team.
They go no huddle after a complete out route to Corey Carter. This time they threw a tight end out to Shan Varder. He bobbles the pass, and it's going to be an incomplete, and that's going to bring up another 4th and 1 here for the Wildcat. And Ramos, I think if you're the Wildcats here, you're keeping out your number ones. It's already late. What do you got to lose here? You might as well go for it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, you have nothing to lose at this point, and it's a good opportunity for you to try plays to make on 4th down and see what works. And when the game is lost like this, it's just basically like a practice session. Try to see what works, what doesn't, try new things. I mean, who cares?
5-step drop under a little pressure, throws it complete, and that is 2 for 2 on the day in 4th down situations for the Wildcat. They've had several opportunities where they could have gone for it. Now they're still 100%. 7-step drop for King. He throws it deep across the middle, and it is almost intercepted. Dangerous, dangerous throw. Number 24, Dante West, we've called his name several times today, coming up big and deflecting that pass intended for Torres. J.C. Torres, number 89 for the Wildcats. This is something they should have started, coming out of halftime. They're finally taking the lid off the jar and letting E.T. King try to chuck the ball. Now he's up to 110 finally. 4 minutes here to go in the fourth quarter. 3-step drop under pressure, checks it down to the halfback. That's going to be incomplete. Willis caught it, but he was several yards out of bounds. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10, 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and shout out to this Vancouver secondary. At the beginning of the broadcast, I was saying, again, the wide receivers of Chicago against the secondary of Vancouver. And Vancouver has won almost every single battle. That's why E.T. King has to, dump it short every single time.
Checks it down again. Same story, different play. Throws it very late. Willis catches it, but again, several yards out of field. And I don't know if that's just Willis, not running a good route, or if it's E.T. King leading him too much, but there's clearly some disconnect with the 2 star players here for the Chicago offense. 4th and 11, this is going to be by far their toughest 4th down attempt. Empty look here for Chicago. Shotgun look, E.T. King, 3-step drop under a little bit of pressure. Hit as he throws, and that is incomplete. Hit in the backfield by number 69, Jenkins. And Vancouver's going to take over at midfield.
This is a Vancouver team that is, they don't, make a living out of sacking the quarterback. They are more of a team who likes to play good secondary play, good linebacker play. They're more kind of like a Mexico City type of, or Carolina type of, Carolina in years past, type of defensive scheme. As opposed to like Alaska and those teams who like to rush the passer. But that time around, E.T. King had no time to throw the ball, and a great play by the Vancouver front 4.
Indeed, folks. This game's all but over. 2nd and 3. Vancouver's got a commanding lead, up by 32 points here with 3:27 left to go in the fourth quarter. Weak eye look here for the Legion. against the 4-2 nickel of the Wildcats. And it is a power to the outside. And they've got plenty of room. Number 28 for the Vancouver Legion, Myron Jackson Jr., picking up several yards here. And that is the Everscroll block of the game. Folks, Everscroll by movement blocks blue light to protect your eyes from digital screens. Don't hurt your eyes by checking out SFL action. Protect them and see every moment by using the promo link in the scroll below. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL broadcasters. Movement, premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. Folks, head on over to mvmtwatches.com and get yourself some quality products today. 1st and 10 here for the second stringers for the Legion. They're just burning clock here. 2:30 here to go in the 4th quarter. Another power to the outside. He's got a little bit more room, and he is running really well. You don't often get to see the backups play, but number 28, Myron Jackson Jr., playing extremely well and making an argument to why Vancouver has him backing up Mr. Sanchez.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if this is the starters or if it's the backups. Vancouver still dominating. Mark Salt is the quarterback, and they're leading this. He's leading this offense to another score potentially.
Folks, that brings us to the Quip 2-minute warning. Ramos, I have a Quip toothbrush. I'm going to tell you, it is phenomenal. I have never had a more refreshing brush in my life. I wake up every morning, brush my teeth with it. It is great. The pulsating vibrations give me that clean, crisp feeling every morning. I love it. Folks, head on over to Quip, getquip.com, and get yourself one today. Another handoff to Jackson Jr. This time he's going to pick up 3 yards. And Chicago's going to take a timeout. .157 here to go. I think if you're Chicago, some bright spots today. You ran the ball well. You probably overran the ball. I think some of the negatives is they've got to throw the ball more, and they've got to get higher quality passes. There were several. He had 1 pick on the day. It could have been 5 picks on the day. There were several picks. As we see Jackson Jr. Carrying it just short of the first down. Chicago burning their second timeout, 1 here to go with 1:53 here left in the 4th quarter. Vancouver, some positive takeaways. You were able to exploit a very stingy Chicago defense. Chicago's historically been known to be a great defensive team, trying some new stuff coming out. We don't often see them get into the cover 2. We saw it quite a bit today, and we saw it get burnt quite a bit today. So it'll be interesting to see how Chicago makes adjustments moving forward. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up and good. And that is a 32-yard field goal by Ashley Finch to give Vancouver another 3 points to their demanding lead. That puts Vancouver up by 35. Man, my math is shoddy. 8 minus 3. Holy moly, folks. See, that's why they switched over to Common Core, because folks like me and Ramos, we have to use our fingers. That's not very productive. We learn the little dots on the numbers. So Common Core kids, man, they can tell you 38 minus 2 times 7 times 15, and that'll give you the score for today's ball game. But hey, it works for them, doesn't work for me. I think Ramos and I are going to stick to our fingers.
Yeah, I got lost by the number 38.
It's a good-looking number. A lot of 3s in the score today, 3 to 38. Chicago probably wishes they had a few more 3s in their score. 1:45 here to go for, well, I think it's the backups here. No.
Still thinking.
Yeah. Shocker, Jared Willis taking a huge hit there. That's kind of concerning. I'd want to see what my backups could do, and I definitely wouldn't want Willis taking hits like that. King, 5-step drop, checks it down to Willis again, and he's going to get stopped in the backfield. Brought down by number 69, Leroy Jenkins, coming out of his defensive end position to bring that guy down. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 13. That was like a naked screenplay there. No blockers for Willis. Awkward pass, awkward catch, and then it took him a long time to get started. Enough time for Leroy Jenkins to finish grocery shopping, turn around, and bring him down for a loss of 3 on the play.
Yep.
4 wide receiver look here for E.T. King. 3-step drop, checks it down to Willis again. He catches it, and he's going to be run out of bounds by number 27, Mark Lopez. And that's going to stop the clock, which I guess is what you want if you're Chicago, but if you're Vancouver, it would have been better to bring him down in bounds.
Yeah, and you have to think if King's arm is, well, if there's something wrong with his arm, because you have receivers. I saw receivers going deep. Like, there are receivers doing deep routes that would get the first down if the pass is completed, but he's just checking it down all the time.
Yeah, a little gun shy indeed. We'll see what he does here with 5 wide receivers on a 4th and 10. Throws it deep across the middle, and it is almost picked off. Mark Lopez jumping that one. And I don't even know if I can call it jumping, as it was just a floater across the middle. Doesn't even look like the receiver had a chance for it.
Yeah, and not at all. And again, that pass was again underthrown. Well, maybe not underthrown. It's just that Lopez did a tremendous play on the ball, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
He had another assignment. He recognized the corner route, or the post route, rather, and he just, forwent his assignment to go cover the deep pass, and it worked perfectly. That's good coaching, and that's, better than play by the safety.
Mark Salt coming in to take the victory formation here. 1:15 to go in the 4th quarter. So we got a little bit of time before the clock strikes 0. Ramos, go ahead and give me your synopsis of the game. Who did good, who did bad, and give me your player of the game.
Well, Vancouver did everything good, and they did nothing bad, honestly. I mean, they dominated this game from start to finish. And I can't. My key is that it seemed that the secondary was able to cover and blanket the receivers of Chicago all game long, and that's why E.T. King had to check it down all day. For my player of the game, I have a couple of them. I have one for offense and one for defense. For offense, I'm going to give it to Ivan Sanchez. I think that he had a tremendous game and really changed the fortune of the game with his completions. Tom Pepper obviously has that honorable mention because he was fantastic all game long. And on defense, I'm going to give it to Levon Irvine. He had a couple of big-time stops in the middle of the field, preventing a couple of passes of being completed. So yeah, on offense, I'm gonna give it to Sanchez. On defense, to Irvine.
I'm gonna go with Tom Peppers, 23 of 30, 4 touchdowns, 344 yards. Looks like a brand new man in this Vancouver offense. And then on defense, I'm gonna go with Gus Schultz. First week of action, comes up with a huge interception, and definitely patrolled the middle of the field. But then again, man, the Vancouver linebackers played pretty lights out as well. So I could see it going either way. But folks, it has been a complete and utter pleasure to call this game for you. It was an awesome game. Vancouver improving 2-2-1. Chicago falling 2-2-1. I've been your play-by-play man, James Richards. Alongside of me is my good friend Ramos Lynn, and Andy did a wonderful job back in the stats truck. Folks, if you enjoyed the broadcast, go ahead and hit a thumbs up for us on the YouTube channel. And then again, when you see the broadcaster link go out there, go ahead and give us 5 stars and tell Mr. Dags we're your favorite team of the week. That's going to do it here for us, folks, here at Canada Field. Thank you for watching the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Have a great night, everyone.